I started working in 2007 for B&H Photo, where I was there for 13 years. After 13 years, I went on to start my own nonprofit helping those facing incarceration. I became a chaplain at that time in 2017. I visited over 100 prisons across the United States of America, helping people from all backgrounds with their challenges, understanding the prison system and what their quickest way out is, other than a pardon or a commutation, which is far and few between.
I mean, how'd you get into that? And then also, what are you doing today and how'd you get there?
So I got into that when I had a good family friend get in trouble with the law. He was a bankruptcy attorney, took money from an escrow, which technically he wasn't able to at that moment, even though the money was his, but it was 4 days early. He ended up doing 3 1/3 in federal. His state sentence ran concurrent, and they got him on some other serious charges. He used to have a big beard. He shaved his beard while trying to avoid authorities. So intent to change your identification. So that's a big one, which they actually ended up dropping the charge. I learned very quickly all the programs out there, how the system works, how you score your brownie points, how you get yourself in a little bit of trouble or a lot of bit of trouble, and what's sometimes worth the patch on the hand and what's not.
Can you tell me a little bit about what Worldwide does and how you got into it?
So I got into Worldwide, while my nonprofit is something I don't make money from, my consulting company is something I definitely do make money from. So if somebody comes to me and needs my help as an act of kindness, I'm glad to help. But at some point, I need to be compensated for my time. That's when I went into the consulting world, and I do a lot of prison consulting as a way to make a living and provide for my family.
So who would be somebody who would use Worldwide Account? Is it somebody who's about to go into the prison system?
Somebody who's about to go in, somebody who's just come out, and somebody who's inside. It really, there's different steps. There's preparing for what you're up against, coming from living the free world to the not free world. Are you going in for a white collar crime that you're getting 3 1/3 years for? Or are you going in for something more serious that you're getting 10 plus years for? Are you getting divorced because of it? Are you not? How to hide your money in a legal fashion is always a big challenge in this world. A lot of times you have to pay back, especially in the world of white collar, or you don't want to be sued if you did something more serious like a sexual crime. So those are 10 plus years. Federal guidelines have mandatory minimums. I often tell those type of clients, don't even take a lawyer, just take somebody who's gonna get you the best plea deal, because there's almost nothing what the plea deal. Just sign on the dotted lines, and whether you're checking in right before Rosh Hashanah or right after is really what you're working around, because you're going in and you're going for a long time, and the people you're gonna meet in those prisons are not your friends, and you're gonna have 10 years of hell.
What would be, for somebody who's, I guess your clients in this case, right? Someone who's potentially either getting out of prison, going into prison, what would be one message that you think it's important for them to know that is across the board, right? Something that applies to everyone who's dealing with that situation.
I always tell people, when you go into business, the fact that you don't know something is not an excuse when you come in front of a judge once you get in trouble. If you're going to a business, whether it's a laundromat business or you're opening up an accounting firm or a car dealership, spend the money on lawyers who will guide you in the legal and proper way. don't try to ride the gray area, because you start off in the gray and you end up in the real wrong place because you're so used to riding the edge that eventually you fall off the cliff. I'll tell over a quick situation that just happened to me. A guy bought his first investment property. He needed extra $30,000 to close on the deal in Fishkill, New York. It was a 2-acre property with a couple of houses on it. So he lied on his application. Instead of saying that the property is worth $300,000, he wrote that the property is worth $400,000. Why? He gets more money from the bank. But that's mortgage fraud. Well, long story short, he got 13 years. Don't play the games. It's not worth it. I can't be clearer, I can't be firmer, I can't explain it any nicer. You can't handle the heat, stay out of the kitchen.
I think that's the perfect way of saying it.